Okay, guys, what's up? This is Fallout Kid, and today this video is going to be a mix between Rant and reaction video, because there's that one video I have saw which is the dumbest research video I have ever found. Well, actually, I never actually found this. I actually saw it from James's here, which is a popular YouTuber, a Thomas the Tank Engine fan. James is here, the one I'm talking about in some other videos. But yeah, I found that video from him. But I do agree with him. That video is the dumbest research video I've ever seen in my whole life. I mean, there are some other research videos out there, but on this one, it's just completely dumb. I'm not kidding. So let's just get right into it. And by the way, there is something. Look at this thumbnail.
This is Kenny D, and you're watching Wolf Freeland Fallout Kid. Make sure to subscribe.
Okay, once I'm recording this, I'm just letting you know that I am gonna have to skip some of the scenes because there's something I never a fan of, which was the CGI characters or anything like CGI scenes, because I'm not even a fan of CGI models. I'm not CGI models. I'm not even a fan of the CGI version. I just like the live action version of it. I'm only a fan of the live action version. So yeah, I may have to skip some of these scenes on this video. So yeah, but anyway, sorry I can't talk well, but yeah, let's just get into it.
All aboard the train to Sodor, where the trains are mistreated and the town is run by a diabolical man. No, I didn't just make that up.
Yes, you did, because Sir Topham Hatt is the controller of Island Sodor, not diabolical. I mean, why would you call him that? Seriously, you call him a diabolical man, really? That's ridiculous.
That's basically what the show Thomas the Tank Engine is all about. Hey everyone, welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10, and welcome to today's video. I'm your host, Lindsay Ivan, and today I'm bringing you the top 10 scary Thomas the Tank Engine theories. So, Thomas the Tank Engine, another show I would never have expected to be scary, but here we are. Again, let me know in the comments below which show you want me to do a theory on next. Starting off this countdown, we have the tortured trains. Now, this isn't so much a theory as it actually happens in the show. So basically, if these trains are deemed unworthy or are no longer useful, then they end up being scrapped or dismantled.
Okay, they never showed other engines getting scrapped on screen or on television or anything. But seriously, well, even though killing or scrapping is just completely the same thing as getting killed, like for trains being scrapped and other people getting killed or whatever, but yeah, that's...
AKA, they're killed. Throughout numerous episodes, you even see this happen. There was one episode where they literally pulled the train apart into pieces.
Actually, that was Scruffy. Plus, Scruffy was a truck. You moron. That was from the episode called Toad Stand By, which was a good episode, but he does get repaired at the end of this episode, but... Or maybe you were talking about that one episode called Donald Douglas, when Douglas accidentally pushed the brake van and tore it apart while James tried to go up the hill. So, I mean, seriously, which episode are you talking about? You keep calling them trains. I mean, as for a freight car or a truck or whatever, or a truck, I mean, they're not even trains. They don't have engines. I mean, how do they... Even Toad's not an engine, but he's a good brake van. Well, that was actually Oliver's brake van. seriously, how are there trains? Okay, let's just get started.
Him up to another train, and that train kept going until they ripped him in half. Like, how messed up is that? Or you have a train that was turned into a generator and his corpse was stuck behind a shed.
Actually, that was Smudger. Now Smudger they had to turn him into a generator is because he just can't behave. I mean, Duke warned him, but but this Smudger won't listen. Well, they had to do something to trains in case they do bad things in this island. I mean, you can just let trains can do that while they won't behave. I mean, seriously. Oh boy, I'm not kidding. I mean, you call this okay. I mean, Smudger wasn't even a real train, though. That was a make-up story by Duke. So, let's just finish it.
There he just lives motionless for the rest of his life. The trains are terrified of this or worse things happening to them, and they live in
Yeah, just so you know, I may have to skip some parts because that's some character from the CGI model, but I'm not gonna just I may have to skip on that part. So, let's get to this one. Okay, let's get to the next one.
Coming in at number 9, we have the psychiatric hospital child. Now,
what is this? This has nothing to do with Thomas the Tank Engine. I mean, what do you mean by like a hospital or whatever hospital child I mean, what is this?
people have a theory that Thomas the Tank Engine is literally just a child playing with his train set. I mean, this would explain why there's only one voice for all the characters, and often it's in third person. It's the child explaining the story. It also—
What the heck? I mean, this is wrong. I mean, this is actually a lie. Seriously, that was an adult, not a child. That was an adult who voiced the who does the narrator. There's some other good narrators that all I know, which was Ring Star, George Carlin, Alec Baldwin, and let's see, Michael Brandon, and some other narrators that I don't know because some of them I'm not extremely a fan of, but I just like the other four classic narrators in my opinion. So I just actually grew up with those. Excuse me. Well, actually, not the. Well, I never. Never mind. Yeah, those four narrators I only know, but the rest of them I don't know. So, yeah, that's. I mean, I seriously, how is a child can just narrate things like that?
explains why the trains talk but don't move their faces, just their eyes.
Oh my god, who the hell cares?
It's because I can't even afford to use a CGI model. I mean, a CGI version in order to move the faces, you know, the mouth, the eyes and stuff. But heck, I'm not even a fan of those CGI version anyway. I only like the live action version, the model trains with it. That's the only thing I like about this show. But yeah, I just don't like the CGI version of it. So yeah.
This is also why the human characters remain motionless. So people think that this child is locked in a psychiatric hospital and the only toys he plays with are these ones. The child has a very sadistic mind and tortures these trains. In fact, the child imagines himself as Sir Topham, the controller of the trains. He then lashes out at the trains, often destroying them. The hospital is trying to get the boy to control his dark thoughts through play, but he can't, so he always ends up killing the trains. At number 8,
This is wrong. Seriously. I mean, this is completely insane.
we have the trains are humans. Yep, that's right. People have theorized that the trains were once real people. These people are now—
Well, it's because it had the faces on the engines. And you keep calling them trains over and over again. I mean, that train is just what they pull, and the engines is what the inside of them. The inside of them.
now trapped inside the train's bodies and can no longer control themselves. They can only move their eyes and they can't even speak on behalf of themselves. So how did these people become trains? Well, people believe that Sir Topham is an evil scientist that had a bunch of henchmen working for him. When these humans were no longer useful, he turned them into trains. And when they're no longer useful as trains, he kills them. Another theory is that there was an explosion at a nuclear power plant. As a result, all the workers turned into these weird gray blobs with everything being paralyzed but their eyes. Now, in order to preserve them, Sir Topham placed them on trains, and that's why the trains have gray faces. Moving on at number 7, we have...
This is a complete bullcrap. I'm not kidding. This is trash while I'm watching. I mean, just because they have faces doesn't mean that there's just people who trap inside their engines. I mean, seriously, quit acting like there's something wrong with that show. Seriously. I mean, excuse me, seriously.
The slaves. So people believe that these trains are slaves. Every day they have to work their hardest to avoid death. They are constantly worrying that they will be deemed useless, because once they're considered useless, then they're sentenced to death. So they all have been instilled with this fear in order to make them work harder. These trains are literally overworked, and they always have to do as they're told. Sounds like slavery to me. They don't...
That doesn't sound like slave. They just wanted to make a better future, but honestly, I mean, Sir Topham Hatt is the nicest, it's actually a good controller in this island. But, I mean, why would you call these trains slave? Just because they told them what to do or give them orders doesn't mean that they're slaves. Oh, this is so wrong.
I'm gonna say in the matter, it's literally they work or they get killed. Coming in at number 6, we have the apocalypse. So this theory believes that this show takes place in a post-apocalyptic train depot. What? So apparently this area is the only safe zone out there. In fact, in one of the Thomas books, it reads, "Engines on the other railway aren't safe now. Their controllers are cruel. They don't like engines anymore. They put them on cold, damp sidings and then they cut them up." How mortifying is that? And how is that even in a children's book? Now,
I mean, yeah, you're making that up. There's no apocalypse in the show. Plus, what am I hearing?
this town still treats the trains pretty poorly. So it makes me wonder, if we think that this is bad, then how worse is it outside of town? We're now at...
Oh my gosh, girl, quit making things up. Now, like I said, just because Sir Topham Hatt gave them orders doesn't mean that they're slaves. And plus, how is this an apocalypse? I'm just getting too angry right now.
Our 5th and halfway mark with Thomas's PTSD. So Thomas is probably the most well-known train out there. He's even described as being the cheeky one. But turns out that Thomas actually suffers from PTSD. So let me give you the theorized background on Thomas. Thomas was built in 1915 during World War I. That means he would have gone through intense labor during this time. Then later on you have the Great Depression, when railways were at their peak in the UK. Again, Thomas was overworked. Then you have World War II, in which he saw his friends being blown up from bombs. Thomas has been through and witnessed a lot. All of these factors has caused him to become traumatized. As a result, he has regressed and gone back to his childlike state. This is where he feels the safest. But it causes him to constantly act like a child, and he doesn't know how to stand up for himself. Poor Thomas. In our 4th spot, we have...
Listen, I mean, World War II wasn't in that there's no, oh my gosh. I mean, I'm getting so angry right now. I mean, I feel like it just makes me want to punch my screen. Seriously, I can't deal with this.
Have the evil conductors. Now each
the heck? How are they evil? I mean, conductor? I mean, really? Like, we got like drivers, firemen, station masters. I mean, it's from the station.
Train is said to be able to move only when they have a train conductor on board. This was proven in one episode where a train was whipping along fast on the tracks. He couldn't stop himself because he had no conductor. Now, the trains are also...
Look, now a driver is what they drive the train, and it had the brakes and stuff. Now a fireman is what they just put coal into that little thing that has fire inside of it, the engine. It's what make the engine moves. I mean, that's seriously though.
Shown to do some dark things to other trains. Does that mean that the conductors have complete control over the trains and their emotions?
Oh my gosh, why did you have an image of Thomas and Diesel 10? Oh, what? Okay, what? Is that something I can look at? I mean, is that something if I can... Oh. Okay, I'm getting... I feel like I'm gonna... I just have anger inside of me, seriously.
Well, yeah, that's what some people believe. So, in one episode, the trains are at a scrapyard when they decide to bully another train. They're literally scaring him and pushing him and threatening him that he's...
This is wrong. I mean, that was actually also a coach. Now, I mean, why would... I mean, if you listen carefully, girl, I mean, if you just think that just threaten them to scrap that, coach... But they say he's also coaching, and they say they won't be useful anymore. But luckily, also coach is very useful. Is actually used and been repainted. I mean, I'm telling you.
Is going to be scrapped. That means that the conductors were all behind this and wanted to torment that poor train. Then in another episode, the trains create and execute a plan to basically rip a train in half to teach him a lesson. Why are these conductors so sinister? They're literally
Seriously, I think you're talking about freight cars or something. I mean, seriously. Like, you keep calling them trains over and over again. I mean, how their trains pull each other apart? I mean, that makes absolutely no sense. I feel like I'm not even kidding, guys. This person's just making things up about the show, and I don't think she watched the show at all. I mean, seriously, do you ever watch the show, or do you just keep making up stuff and keep guessing what they're been through?
forcing the trains to harm each other for their own amusement. Moving on, at number 3 we have the murderer. So we've already established that Sir Topham, or as they call him, the Fat Controller, is out of his mind. And the Fat Controller is legit the name that they gave him. I didn't just make that up. They literally call him the Fat Controller. But people...
Well, he is the Fat Controller, but he's also like two names between his Fat Controller and Sir Topham Hatt. But, I mean, he doesn't get mad or anything when you call him that. Seriously.
People also theorize that he killed his child. So in one of the books, it is mentioned that Sir Topham has a son named...
Why would she say that? I mean, it's a kid's show. I mean, it's not about murdering or killing people or whatever. Ugh. I'm definitely seriously though. I mean, Top Trending do way better job than you do. I'm not kidding. I'm seriously, girl. Stop. Would you stop trying to copy Top Trending? Oh, this is getting out of hand. So, I mean, what? And now she's saying that Sir Topham Hatt murders his child. I mean, why? But that's not true, guys. Okay, that is literally not true.
Named Charles, but we never get to see him. Then in the episode called Tickled Pink, we see Hatt's granddaughter, but not her parents. His granddaughter is having a birthday celebration, so it's weird that her parents aren't present. So people are convinced that Topham ended up killing his son one day out of a fit of rage. Maybe because he knocked up his girlfriend too young, who knows. Then later on we are introduced to a train named...
Oh, now you're just making things up by saying, maybe they do this, or I think they do that. You're just guessing. I don't think you watch the show that well.
Charlie, and that's when people theorize that he killed his son and put his soul in a train. In fact, in one of the episodes, Charlie is shown to steal the Fat Controller's car. Hello, that happens in like every teenage movie. A rebellious son is mad at his parents and steals his car. So,
Teenage, what is she talking about?
Yeah, he's mad at his dad for literally killing him and making him trapped in a train. In our second spot, we have Sir Topham is in love with Thomas.
You serious?
For example, there was an episode where it was raining and Henry the Train didn't want to ruin his paint, so he stayed inside a tunnel. Now, the Fat Controller didn't like this and wanted to get Henry out. When all of his attempts to get Henry out of the tunnel failed, he decided to punish him by bricking him in the tunnel. That's right. He built a brick wall so Henry wouldn't be able to escape the tunnel and he would have to live in there alone in the dark for the rest of his life.
Well, if you think that, then why is there's the open spot on the back of the tunnel? He can easily go backwards to get out. She is so dumb, guys. Okay, literally, I don't think she watched the show pretty well. I don't think she paying attention what happens in each episode, but I'm not kidding. No. It's because, even though that Henry can't get out of the tunnel because it's raining and he doesn't like the rain, but they just couldn't get him out of there, so that's just...
What kind of messed up punishment is that? Like, he even said, "We shall take away your rails and leave you here for always and always." He ended by saying, "I think he deserved his punishment, don't you?" Like, he has no chill. Also, he likes to see the trains struggle. He often withholds useful information from the trains, resulting in them having conflicts that they need to solve themselves. These could have been avoided if he literally
And you keep on showing picture of Sir Topham Hatt, especially some other engines.
told the trains, but no, he'd rather see them suffer. And that's all for today's video.
Oh, this is so messed up. Why would she... he doesn't want to see them suffer. He just doesn't like it when other trains won't do right.
Let's
Engines.
move on to our comment shout out. I'll be shouting out comments from my video Top 10 Haunted Paintings That Are Locked Away. TJ Bombchen commented, "You're my favorite host on this channel. Love that you pick out random comments to shout out and the way you pronounce things makes me crack up." Thank you. And I know people make fun of me for pronouncing things like I say pasta instead of pasta, or like if I pronounce some person's name wrong, but I can't help it, okay? Sorry.
Well, you're the one just to keep telling lies and make up stuff in the first place, so that's actually your fault. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I just watched after this, but Lindsay Ivan, if you're watching this, I'm just letting you know that you're the biggest liar that I've ever heard about it. Like, you just keep telling lies about Sir Topham Hatt and the show, and you keep calling the trucks trains for no stupid reason. You hear me? Trucks are not engines. They're pullable with wheels. I don't think you watch the show that much, seriously though. I think you just might have hated it, or maybe just trying to make up stuff in order to make people believe you, but they don't believe you. So you lied. I'm telling you, that video probably gonna get taken down, little girl. But seriously. I'm getting done, okay? I'm done with this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I really hope you guys liked the video. And I did skip some of the parts on this video, but I'm apologize for it. So please forgive me for doing this. So yeah. And anyway, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And until then, peace out.